That was bad. If everything goes well in this video, this will be a quick video. I really hope it will be, because the goal is to finally get this thing to fire up. Maybe not drive, maybe not run for 10 minutes or something like that, since I don't have all the coolant system hooked up, but I should be able to get it fired up, and that'll let me test the oil pressure and fuel system to make sure there's nothing leaking in there. And then I'll button up the truck and we'll get ready to drive it. So that's what I'm in the middle of kind of doing now. You can see I have my core support on. You guys have seen me take apart and put back together this truck a few times. Not everything's bolted in. There's still a lot of work to do. I'm just kind of getting there a little bit at a time. Painted the fenders, kind of got it all cleaned up. It looks really, really good. But what I'm in the middle of doing right now is installing a Holley Pro Dash. A 6-inch Pro Dash to be exact. And well, I'm actually not going to go into depth on that with you guys today, but I did want to share something with you that's an awesome product before I finish it up. This is a Reversion Raceworks 3D printed dash, and what's cool about it is they make it for just about any dash configuration that Holley has, or AEM and stuff like that. So as cool as this is, like, it's just super cool. I had to share this with you guys, and I'll put the link in the description. Careful, let me dump that guy out. But it's super nice. It's good quality. I wouldn't, you know, it's a little flimsy, but I mean, for what this is for, it's fine. And it fits in the factory location here. Turn on the light. Maybe. It fits in the factory location just like the dash would. And this looks like a horde. I cannot wait to clean this up. Oh my god. Anyway, it's gonna take me longer to clean the truck up than it is to get it running and moving. But anyway, Reversion Raceworks, they have a 12-inch dash, which we actually are putting in gramps. So we actually have the piece for it already. And I'm gonna go over a full Holley Pro Dash install when we do gramps. But since it's the first time I'm being installing it, everything, I wanted to take my time and do it right, so I didn't have to do it twice, and kind of get familiar with it, and then I can repeat the process when we start putting together gramps and go into depth with that. But yeah, again, Reversion Raceworks, check it out. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't know who they are, and I'm not the first person to buy this and show this, but it needs to be shared with you guys. reversionraceworks.com. All right, let me get this thing together, and probably that's going to be it for tonight, because I've got to get some fuel, and I'm waiting on a part. I can't start it right now because I'm waiting on an adapter for a map sensor. So let me get this done, and we'll follow up tomorrow. It's so close. It's so close, you guys. Let me show you what I'm doing. I am not a tuner. Let me state that first. I'm not a tuner. I've gotten lucky tuning this truck, and I'm learning. And I'm not a tuner, so don't take anything I do here as what you're supposed to do. But let me show you what I've done. I went to the map sensors on my Holley Terminator X, and I changed the map sensor over because on the Gen 4 intake, I'm going to use this map sensor here instead of the vacuum line that I used on the Gen 3 intake. And I had to wait for a part to get here to do that, which is right here. So I might be able to start it tonight, you guys. So I wanted to update that in the tune that I'm going to load on the truck. I also have the transmission configured here per the like the wizard settings in the Holley Terminator X. So I didn't change much there. And yeah, sorry, my wife came out to visit me. But anyway, I got the tune loaded. Now we're gonna go to the truck because we're gonna do two things before we fire up this truck. One, I have to admit, I've actually already done because I was testing something earlier, but I'll show you what I do. And that is make sure that we have oil pressure. And well, there's no plugs in the motor, so we can turn it over pretty fast and it can actually build oil pressure. That way, if everything's good. Since I changed out the pickup tube and the O-ring, I was very concerned about that. But I'll show you that. Then, right now, I have the fuel pump relay unplugged. Once we verify that with you guys again, I'm gonna plug in the fuel pump relay and then I'm gonna cycle the key a couple times. And that's gonna make sure a couple things. I'm gonna make sure we don't have any leaks throughout the system. And then I'm also going to make sure that we don't have a stuck injector, because after we cycle it a couple times, I'm gonna turn the key over. And if I see or hear a bunch of fuel coming out of one of the cylinders, that means I know that one of the injectors is stuck. I would rather do that than hydrolock a motor. And I've had it happen the first time I tried to start this truck with different set of injectors. These should be fine since they were in it before, but it doesn't hurt to check. So let me get the laptop set up and get y'all over there, and we'll show you the what do you call it? The oil pressure. All right, maybe kind of hard to see here, but I'm going to turn on my ignition. And I'm going to hook up to the computer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this tune that I just created to the ECU. And it says you need to turn it off and on for everything to be updated. So I'm going to do that. Turn my ignition off. Now I'm going to turn it back on. All right. Now, let's see if we are live. We are. So these are the kind of things that I want to look at. We can actively monitor some of the gauges in the Terminator system, in the software. One thing we can look at here is where it says stall. This is our tachometer. This one right here is oil pressure. So I'm going to turn the motor over now. And remember, no fuel, no spark. So if you look at that, 32, and our engine's getting RPM. So we are good to go on that front. So now I'm going to take the time to put the fuel relay back in. And I'm going to cycle the fuel system a couple times. So this part, we're good. Tune is loaded. We're going to leave it here for a minute. I turned off the key, so that's why it's all mad. But yeah, let's do that and then we'll see what happens. Okay, if everything goes right, fuel pump should cycle. Let's listen. Yep, it's on and we're pushing fuel. All right, cycle a couple more times. I'm starting to hear some things, which is a good sign. I don't see fuel leaking anywhere yet. Good sign. Watch our fuel pressure. Looks like I need to do some adjusting because it's not quite high enough. Okay. It needs to be 43 psi. I think we were at 40. That's more like it. Maybe just a little bit more, and then I'll lock it down. All right. Yeah, that's better. All right, now I'm going to turn it over and see if we see any fuel coming out. That would be a no. We'd have heard it, we'd have seen it. So, excellent. Getting some air out of it, that's good. Wait a minute. Excellent. Let's listen to that one more time. Excellent. Well, while editing this video right now, this one right here, yeah, I'm realizing that it's filling up the cylinder with fuel. That's what the noise is. It's not air leaking down. It's not air moving anything out. There's no plugs in the motor. Swing and a miss. I totally missed that, and I feel like a bonehead because I can see it plain as day on this video. But that's what you'll see here in a minute. I'm blowing the surprise for you. That's the number 2 cylinder, the injector just hanging wide open. And it's just doing nothing but putting fuel in that cylinder. I can't believe I missed that. Oh, man. All right, let's get back to it. Maybe I should do it a little bit longer. Pretty sure that's good. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put plugs in it. And I'm going to put spark plug wires on it. And we're going to start it here in just a second. Moment of truth. Everything checks out. I've got all the plug and plug wires on. I'm gonna come down here and we're gonna give it a go. We make sure we're linked up. Okay. I'm gonna watch some data. And here we go. That was bad. What was that? And here we go. That was bad. What was that? What on earth was that? I have no clue what that was. I'm gonna have to pull the plugs and see if it did flood a cylinder. Crap. I have no clue what that was. I just pulled all the plugs out. This cylinder here was soaked with gas. This cylinder here, I pulled the plug out and black smoke came out. What that means, I have no idea. So I'm going to try to turn it over by hand and see if that does anything. Or if it's locked up, because I may have just fried my motor. Nope, I can move it now. Yep. Injector stuck. That's exactly what happened. It spilled all that fuel out there. Trying to see if the other one's stuck. It moves pretty good. Now. I heard another one. Injector stuck. It's a lot of fuel. Hydrolocked it. Damn it. That is disappointing. I'm gonna turn it over by the key and just see what it does. Dump fuel if I plug the coils in? I hope not. I got a plan. I'm not defeated yet. One, we're not so sure, and look at that, it's still up. We're not so sure that the motor's hurt. Did a compression test last night. Cylinder 2 is the one that had the injector hang, and it was down a little bit more than the others. Everything was about 135. Remember, this motor hasn't ran in a year, so it's not sealed. And this one was about 111. Well, I called my buddy Nick at Brian Tilly Racing. He said, hey, put a little bit of oil in that cylinder and do it again. And now it's fallen a little bit, but it did a compression test about 160 or so, and I'm gonna do it again. So that's from yesterday, actually. So unfortunately I can't do this and show you guys at the same time, but everything's disconnected. The Terminator X is disconnected, but I can turn the engine over. So we're gonna turn it over a few times. Let's see what it says. Yeah, look at that, almost 180. So that's really, really good news. What I'm gonna do is I might check one more cylinder, put some oil in it and see if it's similar. I think 180 tells me that we're probably okay. If I were to bend a rod, the compression in this cylinder would be way down. I think my saving grace, even though I did it twice, I know, kind of dumb. My saving grace is it kind of fired, but it didn't fully rotate before that piston just didn't come up in the cylinder. If it had more rotational force when it hydrolocked because of that fuel, it could have bent the rod. And if you bend the rod, the piston height is going to be manipulated a little bit. So I think we might be okay. So what I'm going to do is something that I thought about today, because I was pretty defeated yesterday and I was going to end the video. But Gramps has a cathedral port intake for the 4.8. It has injectors in it that are OE injectors. These are aftermarket injectors. And yeah, it's been sitting for a while, but that motor is super, super, super clean. So with it being a low miles motor, and it kind of ready to go, I'm going to throw that intake manifold on here because that's going to save some time. And I'm going to reprogram the Holly. I'm going to pull, I do have to use a different injector harness, which I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this intake off. We'll worry about that a little bit later. We're going to put Gramps' intake from the 4.8 on with the factory injectors. Reprogram the Holly. We're going to see if I can't get it to start with that stuff. Sounds easy enough, right? So that's what I'm going to do. So I got to get to it.
And live again. Open up my heart and let some love back in, and quit wasting away by living for the things that I could never change. I wanna wake up to see again. Open up my mind and let somebody in, and quit running away from all those little things that I could never change. I wanna wake up and breathe again. Let that kid up and see again. Open up my soul and let some love rush in, and quit running away from all those little things that I could never change. I wanna wake up and breathe again.
Okay, let's go over this together. Injectors are plugged in, coils are plugged in. All the coils besides that one is plugged in. Let's plug that back in. I had to use a stock cable there, which is super tight, but I don't really have much choice on that one because I broke one. Map sensor's on. I can't find the clip, but it should be okay. I had to plug this, which is where the IAT goes. I'm hoping that won't affect it too much. This vacuum line was also open, so I put a plug on that for now. Remember, this is temporary. I'm going to put my other intake back on once I get injectors. All the injectors are hooked up. I double checked the coloring. All the power wires are hooked up. It looks like it's pretty good. Nothing's too mad. I had the battery in the charger for a little bit. Everything's hooked up there. Throttle's hooked up. Coils are hooked up. IAT is the only thing that's not hooked up. Crank's hooked up. I think we're good. So we're gonna give it another shot here. I'm gonna go set up the other camera, and here we go. What do I have that's smoking? Let's try that. What is... Well, made some changes. Oh, something. Trying. We're going to try something. Don't have much time on the GoPro yet, but we hooked up the internal 1-bar map. I just sent it to the computer. Let's see what happens. All right. Sounds like it's only running off one bank of stuff. but it runs. I don't think those injectors are injecting as they should, but hey, that's the best start so far. I'm gonna take it. That's it. I'm done. I heard it run. I heard it run. We don't have long left, but this header is not hot. These two are very hot. That one's not hot. Over here, this one's very hot. That one's hot. This one is not hot. And that one is not hot. So
you're running on 4 cylinders?
Yeah, it's running on 4 cylinders. Which means I'm sure it's an injector thing. This intake's been sitting on the shelf for a while. And I think that's all I have left of this battery. Well, let's recap. It runs. It doesn't run really well, but it runs. I did get it to fire up and run. So that's a great thing because it's showing us the truck is coming back to life. Why it doesn't run well? Well, this intake has been sitting in 2 different garages for over 3 years. And who knows how long it sat before that. So I actually expected some issues with injectors, but I just wanted to hear it run. After fighting with the injector that locked open and poured all that fuel in the cylinder, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't hurt. And it doesn't seem to be hurt through the compression test and when we got it running, because we did a couple more things after the GoPro died, and I'm sorry we didn't film them, but did a little bit of diagnostics. So one thing I did is I hooked up the 1-bar map, changed it into Holly, but that didn't really do anything. I was just checking to see if it would. The next thing we did is I checked to see which cylinders weren't firing, and we found out that the back 2, which is this is 5 and 7, we're not firing, and then 2 and 8 on this side we're not firing. And we figured that out because we could check the temperature on the header tubes and they were cold. They were not firing at all. So those injectors were stuck. To further diagnose that, I pulled the relay out for the fuel pump. We used a little bit of brake clean and got it running for 20 seconds or so with brake clean, and it ran really good that way. And then all of the header tubes were hot. We also verified spark on the cylinders that weren't firing, so we know that with a different fuel source it hits on all 8 just perfect. So those injectors are bad, which, like, again, I expected, but I wanted to hear it run. I wanted to make sure it wasn't hurt before I went out and ordered new injectors, which I have done. So we're going to be waiting on those. But this weekend is Christmas. So first of all, Merry Christmas. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas with your family or whatever holiday that you celebrate. It's a great time to be with some friends and family. So I hope you guys enjoy it safely. But yeah, I'm going to be waiting on parts. So there's not going to be much going on. So I'm going to end the video off here. But I am going to say no video next week. So this following Saturday, I'm not putting out a video. I've got some things to take care of. I want to enjoy the holidays with my family, so we're gonna skip a week, and I apologize. But with that said, have a fantastic new year. I hope 2023 was awesome for you, and if it wasn't, I hope 2024 is. It's been an interesting year for us. I got a whole lot of work done on this truck, and it's been a ride, and we're almost done with it as far as this journey goes. But we have all kinds of other stuff that we're going to be working on. So if you didn't hear me, no video the following weekend, and I'm sorry. With that said, thank you guys tremendously for your support through 2023. We gained a whole bunch of subscribers. We're not far from 5,000 subscribers, which is just a blessing. I've said it before. You can the most valuable thing you can give somebody is your time. And you guys give us your time to watch our silly little videos. And thank you guys so much. It means the world to us. If you'd like to support us further, we do have some merch. We got some Racer X Garage t-shirts, hoodies, and a hat. You can check all that out at racerxgarage.com. And if you're new to the channel and you're just kind of stumbling upon us and trying to figure out what we're doing here, well, we're always doing something. We have all kinds of silly projects, and we just have a good time and learn a few things while we're at it. So please consider subscribing and hanging out with us if you have not done so. Like I said, We got a whole bunch of stuff planned in 2024, and we'd love to have you along. Other than that, we do social media a little bit, and that's Instagram and Facebook only, and that's at the Racetracks Garage. And again, thank you guys for watching the video, and we'll see y'all next year. Until then, y'all know the deal. Y'all be good. Happy New Year.